let's do an update.
Let's grow pumpkin to talk about. Pumpkin to talk about. Backyard of your house. Pumpkin to talk about. Growing Brussels sprouts. Growing big. Pumpkin to talk about.
Oh, Alan with Albuquerque Gardening, what is up? Today is August 12th. Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. Today is day 50 after pollination on our 2083 Bledsoe. I feel like this is another edition of Good News, Bad News. Let's address this. I have certainly overfed in terms of applying fertilizer that's too strong onto the plant and damaging some of the leaves. I haven't fried the plant from the roots, so that's good. But we do have some anger that has spread a little. Nothing too crazy. That's alright with me. Poking up from the canopy, we have a couple tertiary vines that are tough to reach. So I'll get in there and clean that up. Another there. These tertiary vines really love to fill in when your other vine growth seems to slow down. It's been another week of 100-degree days. Today finally being the day that slows that down a little. No matter what, this patch isn't going to look good, or this part of the patch. We had a significant windstorm come through last night. Undid some stuff that looks like never actually rooted anyway. So I'll get that put back. I mean, we're pretty much just in like a maintenance mode here, which is cool. So what's happened this week? This week we have a little more vine bearing at the end of the patch. Very sporadic. Side vine has pretty much reached the end. I think I said last week I was going to terminate that one. I haven't done it. I'll do that today. I love seeing the overcast and hearing the thunder. My dog Bonobo, on the other hand, not so much. Well, let's see, she wants inside. Sorry about that. These vines are doing alright. They're coming along. Also going to reach the end of this patch here pretty soon. Probably before those end up doing anything really. So I'll just keep these coming this way. A little dry at the end of the patch. But today, with the high being a little lower today, I turned off the mist system, and I've noticed that the drip lines tend to keep the middle of the patch a lot more wet than the perimeter and the stump. So I am slowing down on the use of that and doing more spot watering since my soil is holding more water. We had this hose burst, which was our main hand watering hose. It burst in a couple spots. It started ballooning out. Duct tape did not work. It bought me some time, but it did not work ultimately. So this is just a mess of hoses now. This gray hose burst on me several days ago. Just right down there. So high heat and high pressure, given the fact that this is a 5/8 inch hose, chokes down to this, probably increases the back pressure. So the hose supplying that one burst. That's understandable. This was a medium or light duty hose. I'm not angry about that. So I swapped out that hose for a nice fat contractor red hose. That was great for 2 days. And then the hose that supplies, because it's an awkward length, that's 20. We were using a 10-foot hose combined with a 50-foot hose to get the 55 feet from the water source that this mist system uses. And so after that hose burst and we replaced it, the high water pressure and heat decided to find a new path of destruction, which in this case was the hose that supplied the closer portion of the hose for the mist system. I came home from work. We had a leak springing out of here. Some wet stuff over there, but nothing crazy. It must have happened a couple minutes before I had gotten home. I put a bunch of duct tape on here, and then immediately we got ballooning up on this one. So I had to buy a second hose for this, which makes 2 new hoses for the mist system. Look at that. We just need these hoses to last the rest of the season. That's 40 something days, 45 days, something like that. The thunder gods agree with me. So that the toils of this week have been covered. Let's take the sheet off of Gordy here and we'll get into that. Alright. So, yeah, today's day 50. 2083 Bledsoe. This is our seed. This is how it's going. Zoom in on the butt, where we are starting to have some overhang here. That's cool. I'm keeping an eye for any pinholes, any cracks, anything like that. So far so good, not a concern. Color's looking good. It's certainly popping more in its orange color. This little spot is nothing too concerning, really. I think this came after I left some fertilizer on the pumpkin, you know, sprayed with the stuff, and that must have got left on there. Made a nasty little area. It's hard, it's not soft, no problems. Let's take a look on the stem side of things. Looks real good. Can't really seem to see anything that would be very concerning. Yeah. Yeah, nothing too crazy back here. So I'm happy with that. So with these hot days, we've been hot days in the waterlogging. Seems to have slowed things down a little. We are currently, yesterday and the day before, doing about 13 pounds a day. I feel like for day 50 that's not the best, but also not the worst. Some leaves are starting to show some weathering. This one, you can probably see a couple spots of powdery mildew on there. I'm surprised it took this long. Last year, I think it started showing up right at the end of July. And here we are, this started showing up, I think 4 or 5 days ago. Powdery mildew. So we've been treating with Daconil ahead of things actually happening, and then 2 nights ago, day 48, I applied a foliar spray of Immunox, systemic fungicide. So we're covered for about 10 days from the powdery mildew spreading. Yesterday's estimated weight was 676. So we're slowing down a little. I think at this point I'll probably also slow down my measurements, slow down the feeding, because yesterday and the day before, the lower gains, several days back, we had kind of low numbers, 21 pounds or something like that, nothing too low. So I gave it some more food. I increased it from 15 gallons strength to 20 gallons strength for the master blend, tomato fertilizer, hydroponic. And it made 0 difference on the daily gains. 0. It kept it 13 from the day I applied it to 13 the next day. So this tells me that if I keep trying to push food to the plant, I'm just going to be fighting against a wall, probably overfeed the plant, make things unhappy. So I guess I'll just slow things down. I know day 50, 55, around there, things do start slowing down, so it makes sense to feed less frequently. Probably still feed the same strength, 15 gallons or so. Other than that, I like what we're seeing. This is very good. We're coming along with our plans for the tentative plans to make it to the Nick's Garden Center Way Off on October 4th. We just keep pushing along. I keep making the time lapse. There's gonna be more time lapse stuff. Don't worry, the time lapse videos are gonna come out. I'm just waiting until we have something impressive to show. That's pretty much all I got. So let's finish this season out. Let's get this thing going. Let's get to harvest. We're not gonna kill the plant. We're gonna treat for powdery mildew. We're gonna slow down the feedings. We're gonna calm ourselves down. This season we've done better with the stress management. We can always improve.